6 out of 12 teams.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball, giving you a Week 15 preview. I'm your host, Coach James Lewis. On the other end, Doc Mendelson. In the wake of an unprecedented trade of events, I've never seen anything quite like this. And you're talking to a Braun guy. I will allow you to have the first take here. And we have not discussed this. We
have not.
In our prep, we did not discuss what the reaction was.
These are unfiltered takes. Me and James hung out 30 minutes before the show doing graphics, and we did not talk about the trade. Let me just say I lost an hour of sleep because right as my head is about to hit the pillow, I decided to look at ESPN one more time, and now I'm staying up till 2 a.m. I'm not mad.
And side note, I got this on the wake. I watched the Lakers and Knicks game last night, and I put my son to bed, and I didn't know until this morning.
I texted James.
Luka?
I made sure I texted James.
You might have been the first one.
I texted everybody I knew. Let me be the newsbreaker.
I had 6 text messages. I had to look into this. I'm like, Luka, what does that mean?
Okay, so here's my take. I'm not mad the Mavericks traded Luka. I think it's a very bold move, but I think that they hit their peak last year of where they were going to be. Where they messed up on was A, not going to the open market and seeing what they could get, and B, not getting additional assets from the Lakers, not getting Dalton Connect, not getting an additional first. That's where they messed up. Actually trading Luka himself, I'm not saying I would have done it, but I think if you had signed Luka to the extension, and you have to keep in mind the NBA with the new CBA and the second apron, that's a 5-year, $345 million contract for somebody that has had issues staying in shape. He has a lot of mileage for somebody that's 25. He's had a couple of lower body injuries. Are you willing to invest in that? I don't know.
All right. All right. I'm on the other end of this.
I mean, I'm sure you are.
He's 25 years old. You could make a case that he is the best player in the NBA. Especially up until this point in his career. He averaged 34, 9, and 9 last year. He has not reached his peak, and I just gave you his statistics. They went to the NBA Finals last year. This is unprecedentedly stupid by the Dallas Mavericks.
Let me ask you this, and two things about it. One,
AD is 31. And you talk about injuries. He has an injury-riddled season, and the Lakers traded him at peak value because
they absolutely
played the last 2 seasons.
What if Luka didn't commit to signing long-term and you risked the possibility of him losing for nothing? B, similar situation that you could have said with Joel Embiid a couple of years ago, coming off an MVP, putting up record numbers, and look at the mileage that hit on his body.
I'm sorry, but
adding up.
Luka's injury history is not comparable to Joel Embiid.
I think Embiid's is worse, but I don't think that you can shrug off Luka's injury history. And you could say probably you have more concerns about Luka's work ethic than you do about Joel Embiid's. How many times you've seen Luka? You've seen Luka Doncic. You've seen Luka Doncic drinking on multiple occasions. You can't say that about Joel Embiid.
So, because he drinks alcohol, he doesn't have good work ethic.
I mean, he's up to 270 pounds now.
Okay. I mean, I guess hanging out with the greatest player to ever touch a basketball might rub off on him a little bit. We will see.
Wait. What about the hookah? What about the hookah Luka deal.
Luka Doncic. I mean, they went to the NBA Finals last year. Is that
and that's
did
what I'm
that
saying.
happen?
That
It
was
did not happen.
That was their peak, and they got it as a 4 seed, and they got
He's
busted in 5 games.
years old.
Yeah, and
25.
And you could say that this is them trading Luka.
15 years.
You could say this is them trading Luka at peak value, not getting peak value in return, but peak value for Luka. Let's say he comes back and he injures his calf again. Would he still have the same trade value? I don't know.
I would like to get more Cuban's take on this because he's probably like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. Ooh, James, you cursed. We need an own episode for our trade deadline special. We're almost 6 minutes in and nothing.
It's okay. We are prisoners in the moment. Everybody wants to hear this stuff. Like, yes, we want to get you prepared for week 15. I know we're a fantasy pod, but we might have to revisit this towards the end. And just for you, does he? I know he's number 77. Does he? What's the number he's gonna be for the Lakers? I found this photo. Games watched 15. 10 games Monday, 7 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday. We all love that. Trade deadline Thursday 6, Friday 7, Saturday 11, and then Sunday 3. I mean, maybe it's Super Bowl Sunday. We get it, I guess. But it's up or down all weekend. With the trade deadline looming, it might be a weird week for games played and what's happening. You don't really know your pickups. We're talking about pickups because this is what we do here on this show. It's a weird week. You might want to save them unless you had somebody that you could give you top 100 value for the rest of the year. Games watched, 18 teams with 4, 11 with 3. The Houston Rockets play 5 games. So if you're a Min Thompson owner, he's healthy. And Josh Green, you're liking that.
You mean Jalen Green?
Did I say Josh Green?
You did say Josh Green.
Holy smokes. I guess I'm not over this trade right now. I did get to see Jaxon Hayes play live. I went to the Lakers Wizards game in which we won Bronny. We won Bronny. And Bronny went out there and had a nice little and won. And at the end of the game, he's at the free throw line with 6 seconds, and they chanted MVP. It was kind of a joke, a little bit of a circus. It's a little amusing, but it's kind of weird being a Bron fan. And LeBron played an impeccable 27 minutes, had a plus 30, had 11 assists, 0 turnovers. Jaxon Hayes looked good in that game, 10-10, had 3 blocks. He shoots 92% because all he does is catch lobs. They need a center. I don't think this is done for the Lakers. Like, you have Luka now. Like, what's next? And again, we might step away from fantasy a little bit here, but like this.
I mean, I'd be interested if they try and trade for someone like a Walker Kessler that's a more of a rim protector.
Interesting.
Gives you a little bit more.
Because I'm thinking like who's the guy? Because they gotta get a center. They gotta get somebody.
But one of the things with Jaxon Hayes, and I'm not trying to bring off the court stuff, but here I am going to bring off the court stuff.
You've already done that with Luka's.
This is now legal stuff. I'm dipping my toes into. Okay. Remember a couple months ago, the allegations about Jaxon Hayes with a former girlfriend and just misconduct, poor behavior resurfaced. So I don't know if there's going to be any punishment that's handed this season. So that I'm wondering if the Lakers think that as well. If they don't. If nothing happens, I think Jaxon Hayes gets an immediate spike. And even if they do trade for a center, they likely can't trade for multiple. Jaxon Hayes has been there for a couple of years. I mean, he's going to be a good source of blocks. He has 8 over the last 4 games. So
I will say that
those minutes going up.
The Jonas Valanciunas has been a kind of a rumor to go to the Lakers in recent years. It was not a showcase. He was like 1%. He was missing bunnies. He was so slow. He looked horrible in the game against the Lakers. LeBron doesn't want anything to do with it. And when Luka being heliocentric, ball dominant. You need somebody that's going to move up and down the court. It would have been nice if the Lakers could have got Gafford out of this trade because that's what they need. But I don't know who's on the market that's gonna provide that for this team. They need some defensive anchor, and the one thing is, and I know I'm pro like the Luka trade just because of his generational talent. Anthony Davis is very, very hard to replace. He's a top 5 defensive player every single year that he's been in the NBA.
I don't think this trade makes the Lakers better, by the way. I think it's you get a top 5 NBA.
But how do you say no to it at the same time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Lakers were going to win this year.
Well, they've been clicking. Like, they've been playing their best basketball recently. So it's a very interesting time. But like when Dallas comes at you and like, hey, we'll give you Luka. We just want Anthony Davis. You're like, oh, okay, screw it. Let's do it. Like,
yeah, you don't turn that down.
Yeah,
especially for what they had to give up too. Yeah.
Yes, it is crazy. All they didn't give up both first round picks. They only gave up one. They gave up Max Christie, who's been starting recently. After the D'Lo trade, he's actually been somebody that's been a good fit. But yeah, we're still trying to wrap our brains around it. Guerschon Yabusele for Philly's been doing quite well after his triumphant run for France and the last 2 weeks, giving 15 points, 7 boards, 3 dimes, couple threes, steal. That's serviceable along categories leagues. And he's been on the show before. Power forward, center ball eligible. Glad he's getting his second stint here. And Philly's actually playing some good basketball. Bye.
Call me Guerschon. Career high, 28 points the other day after he put up 9 points. And some of us bet him to get 10 points. That's just the way the ball bounces when you're in the gambling space. But 17 shot attempts, shot 12 of 17, 4 of 7 from 3. Let's be real. We don't know when Embiid is coming back. Paul George fractured a finger. So you don't know exactly how long he will be out. So Yabusele, right now, second option when those two are out, besides Tyrese Maxey. So just keep an eye on that. 36 minutes played against the Nuggets. I mean, Nick Nurse grinding him out.
Tyrese Maxey, all-star snub is something we haven't talked about here, is who got in, who didn't get in. Trae Young, obviously, leading league in assists. How many years? It's every year he's snubbed of the All-Star game, but he's clearly one of the top 30 players in the league every single season. Tyrese Maxey averaging 27, and he's had over 25 in I think 12 straight games.
Yeah,
when your team doesn't win, like, this gets cut. LaMelo Ball was. The fans had him starting in the All-Star game, and he got knocked down based on media and coaches' votes. Like, I don't know if the system is quite perfect.
Should have cut Hero.
Hero got that last spot, and yeah, I don't think the All-Star game's perfect. We'll see how this plays out. What's your take on the 4 teams and the Rising Star team playing in? Is this just going to fix the All-Star game?
Nah, and James, you and I lived in the era of the golden age of the All-Star game and All-Star weekend. It sucks now.
They should have just went East and West and
should do East-West.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Gosh, we're getting off topic so much today.
So speaking of handcuff, because I don't know. I'm transitioning in here. DeJounte Murray's out for the year, and the cuff man himself, Jose Alvarado, played well in DeJounte Murray's quick stint with the wrist injury. It was like 5 weeks, but he played well. He was serviceable. If you're going to use a pickup early in the week, we suggest him. Otherwise, hold him for that trade deadline and see what happens after that. But this is one of those people that you see Murray out for the season. He's going to get a bulk of those minutes at the point guard position, or at least you assume so. And he's going to get somebody who's going to get some threes and some dimes.
You also have to assume the Pelicans, if anything, are going to be sellers. They're not going to be buyers during the trade deadline. So it's not like you have to worry about them bringing in pieces that could affect Alvarado's playing time. Right now, he's averaging 22.2 minutes per game, which is a career best for him. Played 34 with Murray getting hurt in the first quarter against the Celtics. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him play close to 30 minutes a night. And like you said, James, great for some threes, averaging 1.3 steals in the 22.2 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if he's averaging 2 steals a game with the increased playing time. And that could be somebody that helps you win that category alone.
Absolutely. So someone else benefiting off an injury is Precious Achiuwa. Last week, 10 points, 7 boards, 2 steals, almost a block, 15-15 game. What say you? It looks like OG Anunoby is dealing with some type of injury.
I mean, non-contact injury. James said he watched the game yesterday, so I'm surprised he didn't bring it up. X-rays showed a sprained foot. He will get an MRI that will reveal
You're still
more.
my injury guy, okay?
Oh, of course.
Right.
You never like to see a non-contact injury, and this is what happens partially when Tibbs grinds his guys more minutes than everyone else and doesn't get held accountable. But with that philosophy, Achiuwa, next man up, double-double yesterday, played 29 minutes. So definitely somebody that you should add. 4% rostered on Yahoo. That's criminally under-rostered.
Wasn't DeJounte Murray's a non-contact? Wasn't he have the ball?
Yeah, his was a non. And since we still have the graphic, just so you can show, this applies to Precious Achiuwa.
And maybe Luka Kennard, 17% rostered in the last 2 weeks, 15 points, almost 3 boards, 4 dimes, 3s, gets a steal. Versus Houston, 22. Some steals, some small stats, but then he had 2 games where he had at least 7 threes within the last 2 or 3 weeks. So Luka Kennard is being very serviceable for the Grizzlies. We know that he always gets hurt. He just always gets hurt, but right now he's playing, and he's worth an ad. At the same time, you want to kind of save him, but at the same time, he's not the worst person to go pick up right now.
I want to apologize. Somebody commented on our channel a couple weeks ago and asked if they should add him right before his hot stretch. And I said, you know what you're going to get with Kennard. Low ceiling, good floor.
He's good for Cats leagues.
But you know what? I mean, and this is my whole gripe with Kennard. 23 points, 27 points, 7 threes back-to-back games. Then he has 4 points shooting 1 of 7 from the field. And he has 7 points shooting 3 of 3 from the field. And then the next game, he scores 22 points. He's very inconsistent. So I think streamer, I think if you play DFS, it's tough for me to say that he's a hold.
I mean, that's fair. From one number 10 to another who was selected number 1, Zachary Risacher, had a 30 bomb against Cleveland, 5 threes, 2 steals, and this draft is weak. Like, we all know that. But he's had some flashes here in his rookie season, and maybe there is some promise to Zachary Risacher.
I mean, Jalen Johnson's out for the year with a torn labrum. Atlanta seems to be the East Coast version of the Pelicans, where they are just decimated by injuries. Trae Young has missed some time. Jalen Johnson out for the year. Clint Capella currently hurt. And
is it Capella to the Lakers?
It could be.
Oh, yeah, I just thought about it. Like, is this the guy? Like,
it could be. I mean, Capella's been rumored for years.
I feel like you could get him for not too much. Anyways, go ahead.
Insert Risacher in the 3 games that, and Risacher himself was hurt. He's played 3 out of the last 4 games, at least 11 shot attempts, 5 threes in 5 3-pointer attempts in those games, giving you a little bit of rebounds as well. He's going to get some playing time. And he has the upside of a number 1 pick, albeit a weak draft. But I mean, I don't want to say he's someone that is a league winner, because I wouldn't go that far. But assuming he's healthy, he's going to be rosterable in 10, 12-team leagues the rest of the season, assuming the volume is there.
What was supposed to be, based on like just projections, who was supposed to be like the number 1 pick going into last year's draft at the beginning of the mock draft season, Matas Buzelis is finally getting a little bit of opportunity there in Chicago. He's frail. He has some upside though, and he'll be in the dunk contest in the All-Star weekend. What do you like about this young kid?
Well, like you said, that the athleticism. Watched a couple games recently. He had a good move on Jakob Poeltl to take him straight to the rim. So there's a little bit of explosiveness, and I think it will be a little bit more on display when we see him during the dunk contest, even though he won't win because that's going to go to Matt McClung.
I'm sorry. This is a pod about non-fantasy things, clearly. What do you feel about somebody that's like not really in the NBA being in?
I mean, once again, the All-Star weekend sucks.
Yeah, but like it could be fixed if they kind of go a little.
Nah, you can't fix it now. NBA has so many things they got to fix before the All-Star weekend.
Make it East-West.
Make it East-West.
Actual like stars or young people on the rise to go into the slam dunk contest.
They've changed the rules so many times, and here's the thing: how many more dunks can you incorporate? Like, the creativity has gone down. People have been doing dunks for 30 years, 40 years. How many new concepts can you create?
I mean, but you like me, we're on Instagram or we're watching things. Like, there's other people, that aren't in the NBA.
But they specialize in dunks or being athletic. They don't specialize in being an NBA player. They train for doing athletic dunks, not.
But you talk about creativity. They have things in the bag that like could be brought to the play and could be centered here in All-Star Weekend. These are professional athletes. They could perform some of these dunks.
Yeah, they also don't want to risk injury. That's why you don't see stars doing it anymore. Like, this might, like, winning 3 NBA dunk contest trophies is going to be the highlight of Mac McClung's NBA career.
And Nate Robinson.
Yeah,
played in the NBA.
Yeah, but like Jeremy Evans, like, that is the best thing of his career, is winning a dunk contest. You don't hear from him otherwise. But going back to Buzelis, what I potentially like, let's say the Bulls actually wisen up and trade LaVine during the trade deadline. That means there's more of a role for him. And we've seen the minutes increase over the last 3 games while LaVine has been out with a personal issue. I think he had a kid. So just keep an eye on that for somebody that's 3% rostered.
Well, before this Luka trade, I was gonna break him. Like, let's just see what LaVine to the Lakers looks like. But
that would have been awful.
Yeah, it would have panned out, but like based on how he's playing this season, I would have gone for it. Harrison Barnes is been playing pretty well for the San Antonio Spurs, who are in another trade rumor when that includes De'Aaron Fox. I don't know how they would have to pull that off if they're getting rid of a young asset, but like Fox and Wemby sounds very, very intriguing going forward. But Harrison Barnes has been very consistent with his points, giving you double digits in the foreseeable games that I was looking at as they went back to back, at least 10 in all of them. He doesn't give great numbers across the board as far as categories are concerned, but he's a good, pick up, don't feel bad about cutting type of player.
I'm surprised only 30% rostered. A good floor player, like you said, double-digit points in the last 10 games. He's shooting a career high 50.1% from the field, 41.9 from 3 this season. So he's been more efficient with the reduced minutes he's had. And San Antonio isn't out of it for a playoff spot yet. So it'll be interesting to see if they do make a move for De'Aaron Fox. Are they gunning for the play-in this year?
Derrick Jones Jr. for the Clippers. What say you?
Yeah, I think someone, 16% roster over the last week, giving you decent points, rebounds, shooting decent from the field. He's someone 6'6", 7-foot wingspan. He's been playing a good amount of minutes for the Clippers, averaging 25 on the season, but has played at least 25 or more in 8 out of the last 10 games, including a 44-minute against the Celtics in overtime. I think someone just a little bit under the radar, but can give you a little bit of value in a few categories. Am I continuing to talk?
Yeah, these are you guys. Like, I'm letting you roll with it. I got nothing. Like, as far as like, I can't pick up any of these guys right now. I'm probably gonna hold my my pickups, but they are people of watch. So no
No,
disrespect to these players, but
no.
they're just gonna sit there for me.
I mean, do you like that I used Nikhil Alexander Walker's initials to give you a response?
Yeah, his cousin most likely is gonna win MVP.
Yeah. Well, so the thing about Nikhil Alexander Walker, 10% rostered yesterday against the Wizards, 41 minutes. The minutes have increased with Conley being out with an injury. Also, Dante DiVincenzo. We don't know if he's going to return this season with a grade 3 turf toe. They call it toe sprain. So enter Na over the last week. Look, 11.4 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, giving you 3 threes from the field. Will probably give you nothing on the defensive end. He's averaging 0.9 stocks for the season. But I mean, look at the opportunity that's there. Like I said, I'm a fan of people that get minutes. Over the last 3 games, 41, 32, and 35 minutes. So DiVincenzo, Conley out, Nikhil Alexander Walker, and somewhat Rob Dillingham, the beneficiary.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rob gets a minch.
He gets a bench, but they did not play him a lot recently. He's kind of at the end of the bench.
Well, he's been playing more in his professional career recently than he has ever, and he could actually pop off. So he is somebody to watch in that rotation. Yeah. And there's a reason why they traded their first round with the Spurs to go get him. And, you know, he's definitely somebody to go look at. KJ Simpson is 0% roster. Is that a factual?
It said it on Yahoo. Look, Micic went down yesterday with an ankle injury. He had to be helped to the locker room. We know LaMelo Ball isn't healthy. So, and we know Brandon Miller's out for the year. Just somebody in a very, very deep league that could help with some categories. I know he's shot 23.3% from the last week. That hurt my eyeballs to type out. But somebody in a 14, 16 team league that is likely going to have opportunity for a team that is tanking. So there's a reason we saved him for last. I would say I'm surprised he's not even 1% rostered, but you know, just somebody for everybody that says, oh, all of these other people are picked up in my leagues. KJ Simpson probably isn't.
Luka's on the Lakers.
It is. It's crazy. James, we might have to do a second pod this week just for trade deadline.
He's on the Lakers. I don't know how to figure this one out. Like that actually happened. It's somebody would told you this yesterday at 1 p.m. Luka's on the Lakers. Watch, and you'd be like, shut up. You're an idiot. No, they're gonna trade AD. Like, why?
James, is this the biggest trade in NBA history?
I guess time will tell. It's the most shocking that I can recollect. I don't know anything that's more crazy than a top 3 player in the NBA at 25 years old to be traded. It's like LeBron James getting traded. I mean, it's different because LeBron, there's a lot more safety as far as that's concerned. Now that we're looking into it, but still, like, holy smokes, man. I can't believe the Dallas Mavericks had the balls to do that.
Like I said, I don't hate it. I think they should have gotten more, but we'll see. If the Mavericks win 1 championship, the trade was a success for them.
Yeah, if they do that, that's gonna a lot of things are gonna have to click. I mean, I do like Kyrie and AD, and then
here's the thing too. They have Jaden Hardy. Like they've always had good guards. Quentin Grimes is decent. Spencer Dinwiddie.
These are bench players. These are bench players,
but they're decent, and to pair with Kyrie Irving, and those people play defense.
Klay Thompson is on.
Yeah, no, I mean, you already know how I feel about Klay Thompson.
So AD in the last week or two mentioned like he he wanted to play power forward. He gets to do that. He's playing with Gafford and Lively now.
The irony that AD and Luka are both currently injured is so funny.
Yeah, what do you do with that? I think both of them should be coming back soon. I think AD quicker than Luka, but it is something. This is going to be a 30 for 30 in like the background of this because I don't know how many people knew about this trade scenario outside Nico Harrison, Rob Pelinka. Like obviously, Jenny Buss and the owners in the organization. Some people knew, but like this was not a big thing. Like I know you're a big anti-LeBron guy, but like I don't think LeBron knew about this shit.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah. It's crazy. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see what other trades happen. But it seems to me clearly the Lakers need to make another trade after this for it to all make sense. And then, hey, is LeBron on it?
LeBron to the Warriors.
Right? Like for Wiggins, B-Pod, and Trace Jackson Davis, and
Kuminga.
Camille might stay. Like,
only I don't know,
man. Moses Moody. It's crazy. And if the Lakers do that, that's wild too. Austin Reeves, watch out. I'm hoping you're renting in LA because it seems like you're the biggest trade chip left.
Yeah, James, we might have to do a second pod this week.
All right, we got to do it. All right,
we got to do it.
All right, folks. Sorry that we strayed away a little bit from fantasy talk, but we gave you some NBA real talk. And if you're still here and you tune into us, there's a reason why. We appreciate you very much so. Doc, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, James.
Professionalism. You stood up big time this week, and Coach Lou, I'm here, and I'll see you next week. Peace.